All right, well, the second gen's got some problems. We got it running, but now we need to get it running right. And what I got to figure out is where I'm getting all this extra fuel from. So an easy way to check our floats is, we can do it on the bike here. All we do is just hook up a little line right here to that, and what I'm going to do is raise that up and look at the height of the fuel. So if I'm sitting at, I'm on the center stand, so I'm level, and if I look, my fuel level ought to be right about the crack right there at the front of the bowl, tipping forward. So it ought to be somewhere around right there. So let's see when we open this up how high our fuel goes. We can adjust up and down, but we got to make sure we don't have any air bubbles in there in order to check it. So first off, I'm going to raise it up and get some fuel in there. But I got a bubble, so it's not going to tell me a whole lot. There's a bubble right there, so I got to get that bubble out. So let me pull this up, and then I'll push it back, let the level get up, and then push it back, and you'll see the level drop back down. So now I've overfilled the bowl, so I'm not real sure how much is in there. So now I need to lower it down and fill up my pipe with fuel. You can see the fuel right there. And then raise it back up. You can see it goes up and down. So fill up my pipe and then close this off right here. And then what I want to do is drain out a lot of that fuel, but I don't want the bubble to come back. You can see once it gets up past here, you'll see the little bubbles coming. And so I don't want those bubbles to get back. So I just raise it up, drain a little out, open it back up, let it fill up again. You'll see it filling right there. And I just keep lowering the pipe and fill up my pipe. And then close it back off. And what I'm doing is pulling the fuel level back down to where the float's gonna be set at the right height. So we pull the fuel out, and then now we got enough fuel out that we should be able to watch the pipe. So if I hold the pipe up right here, the fuel's somewhere right around here. When I open it up, the fuel ought to come to about there, which would be level. So if it goes any higher, then that means that my floats aren't sealing off at the right spot. So as we can see by the height of it, the fuel's right there, and that's much higher than the front of it. So what this thing is doing is it's filling up, but because there's no shutoffs on this thing, it just constantly keeps filling, and all that fuel is going down in my front cylinder, going down into the oil, and it's saturating my oil with fuel. So that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, the carburetor's got to come off, and we got to adjust that. So might as well pull the carburetors off and see what's going on, get our float heights adjusted, and maybe that's going to fix some of our problems. So you can see right there how much fuel is in this thing. It's just pouring out of the pipe here. So fuel is just filling up everything and going in this motor. So what I got to do is get this sealed off right here. But unfortunately, these don't really have a way to seal them off. So what we got to do is put a pipe over the top of the gas tank to be higher than the fuel level. And then we can pull these off, and our fuel won't just keep running out. So, in order to get this upper clamp off, it looks like we got to take the gas tank up just a little bit. And so let's pull the gas tank up, which means we got to take the seat off in order to get to the bolt right there, and then we can raise it up just enough that we'll be able to get that out. And out comes the big. Alright, so we got this side freed up. we got to move to the other side so we can take all of the other parts off of there, and then we can free things up. So this is where the fun comes in on how to pull the carbs, but it's really not that bad once you get used to doing them. Alright, so the second gen carbs come off a lot like the first, and you can struggle to do this, or I can show you how to do it where it's not so bad. But first I start with this little one right here that is in the front, and I don't need to take it out, I just need to loosen it up. And so I already got my boots loose. Now I just got to loosen up these little bolts, and this one you can get to pretty easy from right here, same as the first gen. What we got to do is just loosen it up some. So that's pretty loose. Alright, so let's switch around to the other side. I can go ahead and loosen this one up while I'm at it, because this whole boot's going to come off too. Alright, so now let's move over to the other side. Alright, so with that one bolt loose on the back side, what we want to do is take this one loose and go ahead and take him all the way out. Right there. So we got him out. So now, in order to get the carburetor out, we want to slip that boot out. So all we do is grab the carburetor and push against the boot right there, and you can see how much fuel is just pouring out of this thing. It's got so much extra in it. All that's going into my cylinder, and so we want to push that boot off of the carb and tip it around a little bit, and then we can remove that boot from the carb. So now, with the carb pushed forward, we have better access to this one back here. And you can get a wrench in there real easy and get it broke free. And like I say, you don't have to take it off. You just have to loosen it up. And now, we move back around to the other side, take the last bolt out, take the boot off, and then we can pull the carburetors. So then all we got left is this one, and we already loosened it up, so we could probably spin it out of there with our fingers. So the carburetor is just sitting up against it. So let's take this one out. Right there. Then we just pick the carburetor up and slide that boot up. So now there's nothing holding those carbs in there, and we can just slowly shinny them out. So there you go. Quick and easy how to get the carbs out, and I'll show you how to install them once we get them cleaned up and get these floats checked. Alright, so putting the carburetors on can be complicated, but it's not that hard to do if you know a little trick. So when we get around to the other side, I'll show you a little trick on how to make it easier. But first, we start off with this side. So we stick our carburetors back in there. So now you just let them sit there just like we had before. And then we just take the back boot and we slip the back boot up in there. Alright, so now we can tighten up the back boot because we're done with it. And then we swing around and tighten up the other bolt on the back boot. Alright, so there's the back boot all tightened up. Now we got to do the front boot. So here's where the trick comes in doing the front boot. So let me swing around. Alright, so we got the back one in. So for the front boot, what we want to do is raise the carburetor up and slide the boot back in like that, and make sure you get the washer on the outside. And then we're going to leave it right there. We're not going to put that screw in yet what we're going to do is put the carburetors into the boots and then tip the boot down and put the bolt in. So if you try to bolt it in right now, you're going to be in for a fight to try to get those carburetors in. But let me show you, just by leaving that one loose and it locked in on the top one up there, we can tip it down, pop them right in there, and then push the boot down. So all we do is start with the back boot. And we'll go ahead and wiggle the back boot in. So now the back boot's partially in. The front boot, see, it's up high, so it's higher than the bolt hole, but it fits right in there. And so now all we do is push it in and then lower it down. So that little trick right there will save you 30 minutes of aggravation and fussing just by leaving that one bolt out until you pop the boots in. Alright, so now all we got to do is just line up the hole, and sometimes this clamp gets in the way. We just got to find the hole. And then we'll go ahead and tighten this one down. Then all we got to do is tighten that other bolt. And there we go. So now all we got to do is put all the rest of the stuff together, and we'll be ready to pull the plugs out and cycle it around a little bit to make sure we got all that fuel out. Alright, so we're all back together other than tuning my air fuel for my idle. But I got to get all that fuel out of these cylinders where it's been pouring in them. So first I got to take the plugs off. Alright, so with plugs out, let's go ahead and crank it over and blow that fuel out of there. Whoa! She caught on the fur. Shows you how much fuel was down in that cylinder. Let's try that one more time, maybe with the spark plug down here. There we go. That made for an interesting video, didn't it? Alright, so after our little fireball of fun, now let's crank it over and see if it'll actually fire up, if that cylinder's dry enough that it'll fire up now. So here we go. Written on one. Now all we got to do is adjust the air fuel. That's why I left the tank up, so I can get my hand in there to adjust that. Well, alright, so there we go. Next stop, just putting it all back together. We'll be done. Well, alrighty. Well, thanks for watching.